guest, Samuel Ofori Ampofo, independent presidential candidate, is my guest. Mr. Ampofo, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So why do you want to be president?
George?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. Good question. Thank you very much. Greetings to our listeners. Daniel, yes, I want to be president because I sincerely, deep down in my heart, believe that I have the revolutionary capacity and endowment to move Ghana away from economic slavery.
What do you call economic slavery?
The country has, since 1992, in the advent of the 1992 Constitution, and under NDC and MPP, been always under the clutches of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. And this, I look at as not too good for this country. You know, they always grant you loans and put restrictions that are not favoring, this country at all. And I believe that we can develop and make this country better from our own resources, local resources.
What is the experience you built over the years that will enable you to build this country you dream of?
Well, I've been involved in Ghanaian politics since 2006 when I started writing articles, critical articles in the Ghanaian newspapers and Ghana Web. And at that time, I formed an association, Save Ghana Now Association, writing articles that were very critical about our economy and the whole Ghanaian way of life. And many people registered as members of the Save Ghana Now Association. And in 2008, membership decided to change into a political alternative, and we formed, as a result, Ghana National Party in 2008. After extensive round over the country, and in the Ghana National Party Congress, the party delegates overwhelmingly endorsed my candidature as the presidential candidate for 2008 on Ghana National Party ticket. However, after extensive deliberations, I realized that it was too much financially, on my resources, and therefore I decided to go down to my constituency, the Kwabi Brem constituency, and to run as a candidate, as a parliamentary candidate.
As a parliamentary candidate.
Yes.
So you stepped down from presidential to parliamentary.
Right. I wasn't on the ballot box as a president, but I was on the ballot box as a parliamentary candidate in my constituency, thinking that I would be able to grab that seat for my party and would have been very good and a big plus for the party. But also, I didn't win. The incumbent MPP guy won the seat.
So running for president was too much for your finances in 2008.
Right.
What makes you think you can do it now?
Well, from 2008 till now is how many years? A good number of years. I have talked to a lot of friends, and we thought that we can mobilize resources and do it together. And when I launched my campaign document, I made it clear to the people of Ghana that I donated that document as a presidential campaign platform for change to the people of Ghana, and therefore requested that the people of Ghana contribute. And for all of us, if they really believe that NDC and MPP are not changing their lives after 28 years in office, let them contribute and let us run a campaign against the NDC.
So you received contributions?
Yes.
How much?
Well, we're reaping in bit by bit.
How much has been received so far?
So far, we have about 200,000.
200,000 Ghana cedis,
yes.
So how many volunteers do you have?
Well, As a result of my surge in 2008 all over the country, I have representatives still throughout the constituencies and districts and constituencies. And therefore, we are always in contact with them, and they are still they're still working on that.
Now, 200,000 Ghana cedis is about between $30,000 and $40,000. And CDD survey back in just a couple of years back shows that it takes about $200,000 to run a successful parliamentary campaign in Ghana. Mm-hmm. They're very far from that figure.
Well, we are not there yet, but I believe that the people of Ghana will contribute, continue to contribute, and we will probably also have, we still will have also inflows of capital, cash from our friends in the diaspora.
Right. So what's your key policy alternative that you have?
I am centralizing my campaign on the economy, jobs, and corruption. 3 fundamental principles. Okay. And that is what I'm going to, stress on very much.
Economy, jobs, and
corruption.
And corruption.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you create jobs for an economy that has lost 45,000 of them because of COVID-19?
Well, job creation, is that a question, right?
Yeah. How do you create jobs? When, we've already lost 45,000 jobs because of COVID-19. How do you create jobs now?
Over the last several years, since 1992, the Kwasibo Trade and the PNDC succumbed to the dictates of the IMF not to create jobs because they were convinced that, or IMF convinced them, that it isn't the business of government creating jobs. As a result of that, all industries that were then producing and hired Ghanaians were sold or divested by the advice of the IMF. From that time began the enormous unemployment situation in this country. And since then, we have always been running to the IMF for funds, for our national development, and they have always been dictating to us, don't hire people, and don't do this and don't do this. We are always under the instructions of IMF, and that is what I think makes us being slaves under the policies of IMF. And none of the IMF policies that has ever been introduced in our system has ever worked. Structural adjustment program, economic recovery program, and the rest of it never worked.
So what will work for you?
Well, for me, I believe that government must take the initiative. The MPP, one district, one factory, is a snail pace policy. It's not working. I have a strong feel that government must look for money, and I believe locally, and from east, set up about 10 industries. Go down to west, set up about 10 industries. Having set up the industries, you open up for local capitalization. The local people themselves will capitalize those industries.
Meaning they will invest in them.
They will invest in it.
From where? Where do we find the money locally?
Oh, Daniel, do you think people don't have money at all in the villages? No, they have. In my village, we set up Kwabibron Rural Bank. I was very instrumental. Kwabibron Rural Bank is now, running about some billions of Ghana cedis capital.
A rural bank running billions of Ghana cedis in capital?
Well, I'm sorry, maybe, and even though we started operating with just a million cedi, 1 million cedis those days, okay? The bank is now very, very solvent. And therefore, I have a strong feel that if not even my village, There are some other villages around the countryside that people have a lot of money. And also, there are some guys that are from the villages and residing in Accra and Kumasi and the rest of the capitals.
And can invest
in there.
Mr. Ofori Ampofo, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Samuel Ofori Ampofo is an independent presidential candidate selling a locally owned industrialization plan. It's amazing.